All right, it's time for Reset Sunday, and we're detoxing all in May. Happy May, everybody. I'm so excited. We have made it, yes, to May. I can't believe that it's already May. That's crazy to me. I'm still trying to come to terms with that, but we are here, which means we have work to do. So we're going to be there, Miss Terry. I knew Miss Terry was going to make it today. Um, we are going to detox the entire month. Now, not detoxing the way that you might think detoxing, like, oh, we're going to do some type of shed fat cleanse or something. No, we're not doing that type of detox. Okay. This is not a, hey, Miss Terry, you look like you out there having a good time.
Yeah, I'm going to go visit my dad.
Okay. Okay. Well, you look beautiful, honey. You look beautiful. All right.
Thank you so much.
You got it, girl. So, yeah, we're detoxing all month. Detoxing just means that you're literally ridding your body of all toxins. Toxins, build up, backups, whatever. And you're really just cleansing your blood when you really think about the depths of detoxing. Cleansing like the liver, these things that make us gain and retain weight. That could also be fluid. It could also be causing some type of inflammation. If you're noticing that you're flaring up a little bit more, your knees are bothering you a little bit more, you're having more headaches, or you're not getting enough rest, or, cognitively, you're just not functioning the way that you normally would, you definitely want to detox. So you want to know why you're detoxing. You don't want to just be out here detoxing just for the heck of it. You need to know, okay, I know that I don't feel the way that I should feel or how I normally feel. So let me go ahead and move forward and try to, maybe I need to just cleanse up my blood a little bit. Now that don't mean we're about to perform surgery. We're not doing that. What I do want us to start with is knowing what your blood type is. So I know just off of basic personal conversations that I've had with each of you, I always suggest knowing what your blood type is. If you're AB, B, O, positive, negative, what have you. I think a lot of you have eating for your blood type books and whatnot. Just confirm your blood type. That's all you need to do. If you don't have access or you cannot do that, that doesn't mean that you can't detox. But by you knowing what your blood type is, because we are trying to cleanse the blood, it would make sense to eat for your blood type. It would make sense to try to avoid some of those foods that don't necessarily agree with your blood type and your body type as well. So, a lot in this conversation, I'm going to refer to myself because I'm O. And I'm just going to use myself as an example. So when you find out what your blood type is, I will send you a personal list of what it is that you need to avoid, things that are kind of neutral items, and things that are encouraged for you to eat. So the way that might look, you might hear me say something about like a 70-30 rule. Whenever we finish up with detoxing for the month of May, you'll go more into the 70-30 rule. And that's more of like lifestyle eating. So when you're eating for your lifestyle. So every month, it shouldn't be like oh yeah, I'm detoxing every single month, all throughout the month or whatever, whatnot. We all should be eating relatively clean. However, we do go to events. We might have a little drink with some friends. We might go out to eat, have a little bit of macaroni and cheese. It might be little Jerome's birthday, and we might have a little cupcake to celebrate little Jerome. Fine, not a problem. After a while, your body needs to read these toxins, and so that is the reason why you would want to go into detoxing. Okay, so just informed and educated decisions for yourself. That's how you will kind of do detoxing in life. I don't think that detoxing is bad on a monthly basis, but just not, you don't have to detox for the full 30 days every single month. That means you're just living your life on a detox. And no, you don't need to do that. That's just obsessive and it's not that deep. So what we'll do when I say we'll be doing different type of detoxes and stuff, we'll be eating for our blood type. I'm gonna send you all a recipe of the different type of foods or the different drink that I'm gonna want you to drink, something that you can make by normal regular groceries at the grocery store. Cool beans. Shamika and I, we actually just got off the phone not too long ago talking about different recipes because I know that she does cook for some of you all. And She wants to make sure that the recipes and the cooking that she's doing is reflective of what we'll be doing in this month of detoxing. So we already had that conversation. I think she has something really, really good and planned. And I'm also going to share some recipes with you all just to kind of give you some different ideas of how do you eat while you're detoxing. So a lot of the times you think if you're detoxing or you're trying to cleanse, you forego eating. We're not doing that at all in here, okay? We're not doing that. This is not the business of making you starve. This is not the business of, trying to put you on intermittent fasting. If you do that, that's your business. But that is not what I'm encouraging you to do. I am encouraging you to eat for your blood type. When you come off of that, you will go into the 70-30 rule, meaning 70% of the time you will be consuming things that are for your blood type, things, intentionally. And then 30% of the month or 30% of the time, you might be able to add in that sprinkle of feta cheese, or you might be able to have that little bit of a cupcake, or you might be able to have these other things that were not recommended on your blood type list, if that makes any sense. Questions so far about eating for your blood type? Any questions about that? Feel free to come off mute, drop them in the chat, any of that. This is an open conversation. Anybody got any questions? Okay, I'm seeing some no's. All right, perfect. So what I'll be doing, I'm about to give you guys the recipe. Soon as my computer stopped acting wonky. I don't know what's going on with it today. It's acting really silly. Okay, so here is let's see. So this recipe that I'm gonna give you every single month, and let me go ahead and not every single month, but every single week, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up our nutrition calendar as well. I don't know what's going on with my computer today. This is so stupid. It's really beginning to bother me. Okay, let's talk about the recipe first, because I don't know what's happening over here. Okay, so there's multiple recipes, and if you haven't already been on the website before this month, you'll know that there's the nutrition portal. The nutrition portal has pretty much a step-by-step process of everything that you would need to know, or the steps that you would want to follow to clean up your eating, okay? So for this week, I didn't utilize one of the normal recipes that I have up there. I did use something a little bit different this time around. If it can just pull up, this is really bugging me. So I know we hear a lot about like lemon waters, we hear about all that kind of stuff or whatever, whatnot, and that's fine. Who naturally drinks like lemon water or apple cider vinegar? Who's on any type of apple cider vinegar or lemon type of situation right now currently? Let me know if you are. Okay, I see you, Chandra. Okay, Taz, you said no. Okay. So nobody's on any type of apple cider vinegar regimen or anything. Shamika, you raised your hand. Okay, cool. Shamika, I know you're in the store. Are you on the apple cider vinegar one, or are you doing the lemon water? Which one are you doing, if you can let me know?
I'm doing the gummies, the ACV gummies.
Okay.
And I do, I haven't done it lately, but I used to put my lemon essential oil in my water.
Okay. Why'd you stop? If you don't mind me asking.
I think I ran out
Oh, okay.
and forgot to restock it. And yeah. So then I was doing like lemons. I bought some limes last week, and I said I was gonna do limes with the lemons.
Okay. All right, Shamika, I just let you back in there. Which one were you doing?
The apple cider vinegar, I just do mine like a shot of it mixed with just like probably less than 4 ounces of water before breakfast, and then I try to do it again before bed or before my dinner.
Mm-hmm.
So just that.
Okay. So here are a couple of things that I want y'all to take into consideration. This is for everybody. So this month, these are the things that I want you to pay attention to. Pay close attention to this. Now, I want you to think about the times that you are eating, making sure that you're eating enough. That's one thing. So it doesn't mean that pack on, but at the very least, you should be eating 3 times per day, period. That's a breakfast or a morning meal. That's a lunch or a midday meal or a dinner or an evening meal, period, at the end of the day. Every time you do consume, you need to make or consume something, you need to make sure that you have vegetables. Vegetables are going to be the key, the very key of your detoxing process, period. That's for everybody. I don't care what your goals are. You have to have vegetables into your diet. Now, what you're going to want to avoid are those additives, your honeys, your excessive sugars, and I'm going to be listing off a lot of different things because you might be like, oh, why I put that with my tea in the morning, or I have that with my healthy meal, or what have you. I want you to think about how many times you see this in your diet, or you see this throughout the day, or throughout the week even. If you know that you're consuming your honeys, agaves, any type of sugar replacement, I want you to think about that. Condiments, your salad dressings, anything that's in that lane, barbecue sauces, ketchups, mustards, all of that stuff. I need you to remember that. These are things that you need to really watch out for. And I think in the past, we've called them like little sneaky killers or something like that. I need you to think about your cheeses, any type of cheeses that you have in your diets and whatnot, from fetas, Parmesan, American singles, cheddar, jalapeno. Y'all know these, Kobe Jack, all of them, Uncle Jerome cheese, whatever. All these different cheeses that we have into our diets, you definitely want to avoid these things this month. So you might feel like, okay, this is a whole month of depriving myself of the things that I love. I thought this was lifestyle eating. It absolutely is lifestyle eating. But what you'll do in June is you'll be introducing these things back into your diet the way that they're supposed to be in your diet, and not getting back into the rhythm of going every single day. And your body will be able to tell you the difference. It's going to give you the difference. You're going to feel different when you begin to put them in your diet. Doesn't mean that they can't be there. They just can't be there as excessive. So this month in May, we are refraining from your alcohols for sure. We're refraining from your baked goods, things in like the little packagey items and stuff like that. You got to really slow our roll on these type of things, because what we do sometimes is, even though they may be healthy, and this is myself included too, so don't feel like you're alone at all, because I'm gonna go through it too. But sometimes these things, they're in our diet so much, even though they're healthy, even though they're a healthier choice, I will say, but all we tend to do is keep putting it in there, giving it that, oh, it's not that bad, it's healthy. And then that's when we start feeling like the inflammation, or we begin to kind of plateau in some of our goals. It's because we haven't shocked our body and said, let me strip you away from these things just for a little bit. We're coming back, but when we do come back, we're going to come back correct. That's kind of the way I want you to begin thinking about these foods that we love. Also, some of these alternatives. Think about when we do like our meatless Mondays and stuff like that, you might have like your crumbles, the plant-based crumbles and stuff like that. Those things are, treat them like treats. They don't belong in this month. Next month, cool. Maybe last month, yeah. In May, they're not going to be our friends. These plant-based alternatives, or these meat alternatives, whether it's a Beyond Burger, what else is it called? The Beyond Burgers, y'all know what I'm talking about, those type of things. And I'm not trying to diss these companies, because I enjoy a little Impossible. There we go. I enjoy an Impossible every blue moon and stuff. But again, these things are so packed with chemicals and other things in them that, again, they pile up in our body. It's no different than if you have a Snicker bar. to be honest with you. We're going to be watching out on our breads. And this is whenever I want you to lean into like what your body type or your blood type is. If you are someone who is an O, there might be some breads that you have to forego. You know, does that mean that you can't necessarily eat your Ezekiel toast? Yeah, sure you can, but you can't be over there with the honey white wheat bread with your extra butter on it, because that does not work for your blood type, sis or bro. So I want you to kind of like shift around some of the recipes that you enjoy, to make them work for you. Introduce yourself into something new that you don't consistently have. That is what I want you to think about this month. Don't think about it as, oh, I'm just depriving myself from everything that I love. I can't eat anything except for 2 carrots and a lettuce leaf, because that's what Reagan said. No, 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 no. I want you to eat. I don't want you to feel like you're in a box. I do want you to eat things that are relatively great for your body, your blood type. And I also want you to avoid those things that don't do anything. They're more of those harmful things. Chandra, I'm gonna pick on you. You probably know I'm gonna talk about that chicken. Yes, I'm gonna pick on you about that chicken. So this was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago? 4, Jesus. Okay, so 4 years ago, Chandra and I were talking, and I was like, well, Chandra, and I think you had already had the blood type book or something like that, or maybe had you already heard about it? I can't remember.
Well, we talked about it in 2017 when I started coming to you,
Okay,
but I didn't drop it until like a year later.
cool.
So
So
I've been off of it for 3 years.
I'm so proud of you. Good God. He delivered you from that. So I'm going to I'm gonna pick on Chandra really, really quickly. And I'm gonna type up blood type B. You're B, right, Chandra? So Chandra is B. I don't mean to be telling y'all all her business and stuff, but Chandra knows nothing but love. So Chandra was like, hey, I am doing, matter of fact, I'll even back it up just a little bit for myself. Maybe 2016 for me. 2016 was the first time that I was introduced into blood type eating. Now, I'm not 100% with blood type eating. There are things on my list that I do refrain from eating, period. Like I just won't do it. There are some things that I say, oh, well, let me sprinkle a little bit of that in because, you know, whatever, even though it's on my avoid list, I don't do it all the time. I do it every now and then. And personally, I feel okay. There are some things that's on that list that it says, hey, you need to avoid, that I personally feel perfectly fine whenever I do consume it. So again, it's one of those things that varies. It just depends on the person. But anyway, long story short, I get into a situation where I had a really, really big hormonal change, super duper hormonal change. Y'all, when I say face was covered and filled with pimples, acne. Some of y'all might remember me at that time. Like face looked like a dirt road. Like my face was absolutely terrible. So what I ended up doing was I went to the what's that lady name off of she's downtown, the vitamin lady. I think that's her name. The vitamin lady. If you're in Atlanta, there was a shop. I don't know if she survived COVID. I pray that the shop did because it's absolutely great. But she's still there?
Yeah, her hours are like crazy. Like you basically need to call and see what her hours are because of COVID. She kind of like only went to like maybe 1 or 2 days a week, and it was the weekend with limited hours.
I hate that.
Yeah, but I've been in there. I went in there last month or either the month before with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was right before they closed. But she has a restaurant too, a blood type. It's called a blood type kitchen.
Come on, blood type kitchen. Hey, that would be even better to go up in there. So she's awesome. Because what she did was what nobody had ever did for me. You know, I was thinking, let me go to every dermatologist in Atlanta, and everyone was saying, here you go. pill bottle, pill bottle, pill bottle, you know, trying to put you on pills, trying to give you creams, topical treatments, telling you to come in for that session. You looking at hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars later, and your problem is not resolved. And she made it very, very clear. She said, here you go. She gave me a whole big old jug of alkaline water. She handed me a list of my blood type. She was like, what is your blood type? Found out what my blood type was. She handed me this list and she said, listen, I need you to eat like this for 30 days. Period. Just eat like this for 30 days. I was like, well, no, I ain't trying to lose no weight or nothing like that. She said, don't you want clear skin? Oh, okay. Well, you need to eat like this for 30 days. I said, no. Okay. Well, yes, ma'am. I'm a nutritionist. She ain't care nothing about that. Say, listen, I'm trying to tell you because there is power and there is healing in food. And even though you as a nutritionist, you may know this, I need you to now tap into this. There's a difference between knowing and actually doing. So I was like, okay, if I'm out here talking the talk, then I dang sure need to walk the walk. And this is an area that I don't know about. So she was like, here you go. She also suggested that I take some other things. And honestly, I took those things for maybe like 2 weeks and I never did them again. But the eating was what I saw that was most consistent for me, and not only giving me results, but keeping these results. And that's the difference with how you eat. You might have to break up with some of your favorite types of foods. You might have to, if you're looking for your body to truly get the break. If you're not getting the break that you're looking for, you cannot be upset until you actually give it a shot of foregoing these things that you know or that you've been told may not work for you. So I whip open this list. I got busy with the get down. I said, okay, well, these are the things that I'm going to refrain from eating. And it wasn't that tough. You know, she didn't say you can only eat 1 celery stick a day. It was a full-fledged list, not limited to just that. You know, she had the list by Dr. Sebi, which was cool. But there are more extensive lists out there. What's his name? Peter Diamo, Dr. Peter Diamo. I think he has one. There's some other doctors too that have them as well. So these are extensive lists of all the foods. You got to think there's thousands of foods out here in the world. You can't think, well, they ain't got it at Publix, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. They ain't got it at Kroger, so I guess I don't know. You might have to go into your local farmer's market. You might have to. There are so many different companies that sell like these exotic fruits and stuff. One of them that I'm thinking about is Fruits and Roots. They're on Instagram. They're on Instagram, but they're just one of many that pushes out exotic fruits or other fruits that you cannot find or that you don't normally find on or in your Kroger's or your Publix. So you might have to say, okay, well, I don't really like the fruits that I'm normally used to. Your body might not agree with those. You might not like them. They might be overly processed, but then you might have to go into a company or go to some of these different local growers as well. A lot of them, they open up their farms or whatnot, and they do baskets where they give you that fresh grown fruit or whatever right now. So anyway, I go into the list, I eat off this list. I did it 30 days straight. When I say the way my skin looked on day 1 after, and the way that it looked on day 30, 2 completely different people. You would have been like, huh, who are you? What happened here? And I felt different. I honestly felt different. And now I'm at the point where I can tell if I have eaten something that just does not work for me, my body lets me know. If it has a different way of saying it. Sometimes if I'm having something that I know I shouldn't be having, my face will flare up. Like my jawline will flare all the way up. Some people, they're like, okay, well, I noticed that I'm bloating right here in my midsection. I just don't feel good. Like I'm just off. Me and my mom just had this conversation the other day. She was like, I'm just off. And I said, well, what'd you eat, Mom? She started listing off this stuff. She was like, I know I wasn't supposed to have this, but I had that. Well, I know I wasn't supposed to have this over here, but I had this instead. And I was like, you're giving yourself way too many excuses. She hates talking to me, by the way. But she was like, I told her, I said, you are giving yourself so many excuses. Who are you trying to impress? Certainly not me. Like, don't try to impress me. You need to be trying to impress your body, impress yourself, because you're the one who has to feel this way. You only get what? One body. That's it. You only get one shot of this thing. If you do not treat your body right now, it will definitely show you later on, if not already. So fast forwarding to Chandra, um, we were talking, and I think there was some, taking measurements. I would take everybody's measurements every single month. We do pictures, just kind of do a reset. Before we was calling it reset, this is what we would do. Reset at least on a monthly basis. And so I suggested to her, I was like, well, Chandra, I heard, blood type B are people, they need to, it's strongly recommended if they avoid or that they avoid chicken. And you're talking about, Chandra was like, well, I eat chicken every day, or I eat chicken a lot throughout the week. So I'm like, well, I have prior knowledge that chicken is not gonna be her friend. I said, Chandra, maybe you shouldn't eat any chicken. What you mean? Well, Chandra, you probably don't want to eat any chicken. I'm just saying this is on the blood type list. I'm just letting you know, whatever. Chandra's like, oh, okay. Now y'all know she just said I told her about it the year before. She didn't do it till a whole year later. And when she started, I don't think you said that you felt like results or anything right afterwards. Did you? I don't think you said that you did. You can tell. How about that? You say how you felt. Did you feel a difference? Do you think it made a difference? You tell yourself.
It did. It took me maybe like a month or two to really see the difference, like the bloating, the skin changing, that kind of stuff. Over time. Yeah. And so I tried it for 30 days and then I just didn't go back. But when I went to that doctor, she looked at me and was like, do you eat a lot of chicken? And that's when I was just like, what are you talking about? Like, how you just look at somebody and be like, you eat a lot of chicken? She was like, I just tell your skin and that you bloated. And I was just looking at her like, okay, well, I didn't know my blood type then. And then, and that was before I came to you because, I came to you after, I came to you after I had the blood clot, right?
Yeah.
I started at 17. So yeah.
Yeah, it was
So
after.
that was 2016 when I was going to that doctor because she was a holistic doctor and I was having all these allergic reactions that couldn't be explained. And so when I started going to her, that's what she's big on is blood type and eating by your blood type. And so when I first went to her for my physical, she hadn't even checked my blood. Like she hadn't even taken my blood in. And that's when she was telling me all of this stuff. And I was just like, oh, okay, just let them know she's talking about, but okay. And so then when she did my blood work and stuff and it came back, she was like, here you go. I told you. I knew you was B. And I was just like, that is so weird. But, that's what she does. So she just didn't catch my blood clot. That's the only reason why I stopped going to her because she was treating me for the allergic reaction. And it was like literally anything I was eating, I was having a bad reaction to. Even when I went to the dentist, came back and an hour later, my face is swollen on one side and no reason why. Like went back to the dentist. She was just like, I just don't know what you have a reaction to. Like we're not using latex gloves. The medicine you've had before, when she checked my records, you never had a reaction to it. It was just weird. So I attribute all of that leading up to that clot and not knowing I had that clot for who knows how long I had it and didn't know until it started to manifest itself in my leg and I started seeing swelling and all of that. And so as I'm going to her, she's like, you having all these reactions. And I went into an allergist, I did the skin test, found all this stuff that I'm supposedly allergic to and stuff I've had for years and never had a reaction to and just couldn't figure it out. And so when I did have that clot situation to happen, she didn't catch it. So like after I had that initial reaction where I couldn't breathe because by that time it had made it to my lungs and I still didn't know. She didn't catch it. My mom was like, go back to your doctor at Emory, your other doctor, your primary care doctor that I was going to before I switched to her and see what was going on. Well, he couldn't see me. So they gave me a nurse practitioner and I told her, someone told me to have you check me for blood clots because I have signs of blood clots. And she was like, oh no, that's not it. You just have something going on with your leg and we're gonna send you to an orthopedic doctor. I was like, well, I'm in a lot of pain. Like I was dragging my leg. I was going to work every day and dragging my leg up the hall, kids bringing me ice packs. I'm propping my leg up in the classroom and teaching and going on about my business thinking I got tendonitis. So soaking. I'm coming home, sitting in a tub of hot water, soaking and soaking and soaking. Nothing is not relieving the pressure on my leg. My leg is getting bigger and it's solid. Like I couldn't jiggle my calf or nothing. Like it was solid. It was very hot to the touch. Didn't know any of these symptoms were blood clot symptoms. So went to the podiatrist. She did an x-ray and was like, oh, you have tendonitis, and put this compression sleeve on there. You need to wear that, soak, do hot and cold, all this stuff. So I've been to 3 doctors and nobody caught this. Get to work one day, about collapsed in the front office. They didn't call 911. They had Taz to drive me to the doctor in Stone Mountain. So she took me to the doctor in Stone Mountain. So by the time I got there, I was stable. I could breathe again. She was just like, gave me a breathing treatment, checked my oxygen levels, and sent me on my way. She was just like, I don't know what's going on. Why are you having all these reactions? We can't figure it out. It happened 2 weeks later. And at that time, my parents was like, you going to the hospital. I was like, no, take me to urgent care. So I dragged my leg in the urgent care. And the lady was like, stop at the door, go across the street to the hospital because something's not right. I get to the hospital and the nurse that's checking me in took my blood pressure. It was sky high. They was like, okay, so you've been to 3 doctors and nobody caught this. The nurses in the ER was like, this is a blood clot all day long. These are like elementary signs of a blood clot. Like, why none of these doctors caught that? And so they ran all the tests, did the CAT scan and everything, came back and found out that I had a saddle embolism that people usually don't survive from. And had I waited the next day, I wouldn't be here. And so after that, I stayed in the hospital and like stepped down ICU for like 3 days. And they pumped me with blood thinners. And I prayed about it. I opted not to do the surgery where they go in and bust up the clot because of the side effects was even worse than what the clot was itself. So I was just like, we're going to do the old fashioned way. And before y'all had all this surgery and technology and stuff, y'all was giving people blood thinners and letting the body just do what it do. So that's what I chose to do. And so I had to start going to a hematologist at a cancer center. So that was stress enough. And so people in there getting chemo and I'm going about blood clots. So it's just like, and I still go once a month. But the hematologist ran every test he could run, couldn't figure out why it happened. Nobody in my family has it. No genetic testing came back positive for it, anything. So it was just like something that just happened. Because it wasn't like I was stagnant. I moved around. I was, up and moving and stuff. I traveled, but I wasn't traveling enough to where it would cause a blood clot. And so I was on blood thinners for like a year after that. Flew to Vegas, then moved on the plane. Blood clot happened again 2 weeks after I came back from Vegas. And so now I'm on them indefinitely. So that was on me because I wasn't following what I was supposed to be doing. Like I should have been taking an aspirin every day and wearing my compression socks when I fly. But I was just like, oh, well, I'm fine. I don't need to take an aspirin every day. I was taking like every other day or when I thought about it. So like that was on me. It happened again. So now I know when I fly, I get up and move around. I wear my compression socks when I travel. So that preliminary part stuff that I have to make sure I do. And I just have to be cognizant of making sure I take my blood thinners every day. And I take them twice a day. So all that leading to those allergic reaction, all that stuff, I attribute to having that clot and not knowing. And by the time it had gotten so serious, and when I almost died from it, it was just like, okay, what changes do I need to make? So then that's when I was like, okay, let me just go ahead and try this chicken thing and see if that works. So stop eating the chicken for like 30 days. And then after that, I was just like, I ain't have a taste for it. So I just didn't go back to it. So 30 days ended up being 3 years. And I just hadn't had it. And so from there, I didn't go back to her. She was a great doctor. I just didn't go back to her because of that particular thing. But I would go to her for holistic stuff, if that makes sense. Because she was great with it. Like I said, she just looked at me and was just like, you probably be positive. And she went and got the book and printed out the chapter after she got my blood work back and was like, read this chapter from this book. And I ended up ordering the book. So I passed it to people and let them read it and stuff and give them excerpts from the book about their blood type. There's an app, a bunch of different apps. So if you type in your blood type in Google Play or either the Play, I forgot what it is for Apple, but whatever the Play Store is where you get your apps, the App Store. If you put in your blood type, there are apps that'll come up and it'll give you like an overview of different things you should be eating according to your blood type. And so chicken is like, if you go to the vitamin lady, like I know she's not open today, but if you just walked in there And the first thing they ask you, do you know your blood type? And I told them, be positive. And the guy was like, here's your paper. You know, chicken is poison to your body. I was like, yeah, I found it out.
Thanks. I know. Yeah.
I know. And so like they don't play. So she will test you. She has test kits, I think for like $20 or $25, where she'll test you and tell you what your blood type is. I don't know how, the time frame it comes back or whatever. She gets it right away. But she has started a blood type. It's called a blood type kitchen. And so they cook meals based off of blood types. So it may be a meal that has like lamb and some other stuff in it, but it'll tell you this is for blood type A, B, O, whatever. Like they don't just cook for one particular blood type. It'll be several blood types can eat this particular meal, and it's all healthy stuff. And she does meal prep stuff too. But within the store, they have like all these different types of alkaline waters that she gives you for different ailments and stuff like that. Like it's all natural, but the lady know her stuff down there, and she's next to Ebenezer Church downtown, in that little small plaza that's right across the street from across the street from the old one, but next to the new church. Well, not new, but Ebenezer Church.
Yeah, she's bomb. She's
Yeah.
bomb. And it sounds like your holistic doctor was bomb too. Drop her information. Even though she didn't catch what we wanted her to catch, we're not gonna, thank God you're here. We pray. But she nonetheless, it seems like she was able to help you out with other things too.
Yeah,
I'll appreciate that. But you failed to mention one part that has also helped you out with staying away from that, is the fact that you don't eat the same way that you did. You just even outside of the chicken, you just don't eat the same way.
Yeah.
There is power and healing in the foods that you eat. Period. Okay. So thank you for sharing all of that, because we definitely need that. Shamika, I just got yours. You just sent that to me. Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes. We got to read. Yes. Okay. We're gonna redo some things here. But if you just saw what Chandra put into the group, make sure you dive into that. It gives a brief synopsis of what you should do, what you can do, blah, 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 blah. Just a little bit more in depth. Now, I'm here. I'm going to give you what I like to think of as a roadmap. Okay. So I also put in the group the calendar that we'll be following this month. On Monday, I sent out detox recipes. So there'll be a link for your detox recipes and all that good stuff, things that you can either cook or things that would be suggested to you. On Tuesdays, we do, of course, the gallon water. We're really going to be focusing on hydration. Wednesdays, plant-based protein list, because again, I really don't want you all to eat those plant-based alternative meats and stuff like that. We're going to try to avoid those things this month. Not saying you can't have it again, but just for this month, just because we know that it's packed with the sodium, it's packed with the different, what are those things called? Chemicals and stuff like that make the meat look like meat. And, you want to just move that to a side just for this month. Okay. That's all I'm suggesting for you to do. Now, if you do it, that's your business. Thursday, refined carbs list. Oh, wait, hold on. Is it off? Oh no, I just have last month and this Friday on. That's all. Okay. So anyway, low sodium snacks on Saturday. Give you just like an example. I did low sodium seasoning blends as well, because also while you're detoxing, the type of seasonings that you use can also be help you detox as well. So the types of seasoning, make sure you watch out for those low sodium based foods. If you see, and I want you to go into your cabinet, look at your seasonings. If you have things that are well over 100 milligrams of sodium in your seasoning, that's per serving, then that might just be a little bit too high. I'm pretty sure in Chandra's case, probably scaling back off of sodium-based things, and probably the things that she was eating doesn't mean she was cooking with a whole bunch of salt, but sometimes some of the things that we're eating has a higher sodium content in them, more than what we need, more than what our body can actually process at one time. And what that does is offsets other type of deficiencies and, health issues and conditions and whatnot, all because that sodium is just too high, and it's too high on a consistent basis. So If you like pizzas and stuff like that, they're usually higher in sodium. Doesn't mean that you can't ever eat pizza again. You just might not be able to eat it every single day or every single week. Okay. All we're focusing on is just really breaking up with some of those things that we really like to consume on a consistent basis, but all the while eating intentionally for our blood type so that we can also rid our body of the toxins that are getting built up. You'll see that you'll see a lot of the things from last month as well, because I don't want to go too far left. You'll see the complex carbs, vegetable list, refined carbs, and we'll go into detail about those different things, your complex carb fruits and stuff like that. Vegetarian protein list, protein supplements. I really want you guys to pay attention to that protein, making sure that you're getting enough. On the call that me and Shamika just had, we were talking about, yesterday, we're talking about adding in those beans, those legumes and whatnot, things that we don't really gravitate towards and we don't really lean into. I do want you to take a second look at those things. Start leaning into them just a little bit more than what you normally do. You need to have those other proteins and not only or solely rely only on those animal-based proteins. And they look different. You can be on pea protein, you can be on, like I said, your beans, your legumes, your black beans, your peas, your whatever. There are so many different ways that you can get protein in there. So don't just marry, well, I ain't got no meat. That means I ain't gonna hit no protein, ain't got no meat. That's a lie. That's a lie. We don't want to believe that. Okay. You can get your protein in. So also on the portal, and what I did, I just gave everybody access to the portal. So please check, make sure you can get onto the May portal. Make sure you can get up there. Please let me know if you can. But I'm going through it really quickly. Focus of the month. Step 1, I want you to plan out your meals. Step 2, get your groceries. Step 3, make, cook, and prep your meals and snacks. Step 4, execute your plan. Step 5, check in. Let me talk about checking in. So on a week-to-week basis, on a day-to-day basis, what have you, especially on Reset Sunday, you should go ahead and devise what your plan is. Maybe your reset is Saturday. That's fine. But make sure you have your plan. Know what you're having for your end task. Thank you. Know that you have what you're going to have for breakfast. Think about just the week. Just think about it. Okay. Am I going to do my oatmeal this week? Okay. That looks good. I can do that for my breakfast. Think about your lunch. Well, I ordered from Shamika, or I ordered from this other place over here, or I did this over here, or I'm planning out my salads, or I'm doing this little bowl thing or whatever. Okay, fine. That's my lunch. Then I get to my dinner. I'm going to repeat, or hey, I got this cool little soup. I saw this detox soup that I'm going to try. All right, cool. I got my dinner. And stick to your plan. If you're someone who gets bored, say you're someone who, like me, I'm gonna raise my hand. If you don't like eating the same thing every single day, because I am that person, then that means you need to have prepared at least 3 different meals. Don't go into this week thinking that, oh yeah, I just need one type of thing to eat for dinner every single night and I'm gonna be good. If you know darn well you are someone who does not like repetitive meals, don't do that. You will fail. I repeat, you will fail. I don't want you to fail. So break it up a little bit. Have your plan together so that you know, all right, I'm gonna do it every other night, or I can do it for the first 2 nights. I can do it for the first 3 nights, but I know on Thursday and Friday, I need to do this instead. And I think Taz, you brought it up. Wednesdays is the day that you're just like, I usually fall off on Wednesdays. That is, I can do good on Monday, Tuesday, but come Wednesday, I am off. So that's why I did that intentional check-in last week of, all right, it's Wednesday. We can get through this hump. We can make it. Taz, did you end up finishing off good last week? I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I really do want to know. Did you finish out good last week? Sort of, kind of A-okay? Did you get off by was it Thursday? Did you get off? Tell us about it. What happened last week?
Work was so wonderful this week. Well, this past week, it just threw I forgot to say it, but it screwed up everything.
Mhm.
I tried to do my gallon of water on Wednesday instead of Tuesday because we're testing, and that means you're doing a lot of sitting and a lot of monitoring. So I was like, okay, and got home Wednesday. I said, okay, I'm gonna, do what I need to do for Wednesday. And we went to this wonderful meeting that Chandra and I witnessed, and everything just went bonkers there. And it was like, you know what, forget it. I'm gonna just try to eat some good stuff for the rest of the week. I got to the point where maybe 1 or 2 days did not get completely logged in, but I did order some healthy things that third Wednesday for Friday. So I'm so glad. I'll be so happy when testing is over.
Mhm.
Because you don't have to worry about doing a lot of sitting. I'm not one of those that like to sit. And you saw me yesterday. I was just like, I guess I was like a hamster in a hamster in a little wheel. I was just going and going and going
You was
because I've been doing a lot of sitting this week, and I'm gonna be doing a lot more sitting next week and the week after that.
yeah.
So
You
yeah,
was
we'll
on
be
fire.
happy when school is over.
When is school over?
4 weeks.
In 4 weeks. Okay. So y'all
Yes.
got another month left. Okay. Hang
Yes.
in there. Hang in there. Hang in there. Okay. Well, let me go ahead and give you guys the recipe that I want you to follow for this week. When you go onto the portal, when you hit the nutrition portal, when you pull that up, you're going to see a list of your detox recipes. The very first one that I want you to do is the one that says the visceral fat detox, what says ingredients. That's the one that I want you to consume, okay? I want you to focus on that one no, that's not the one. That's next week. Where is the one from this week? I think I had cranberries in this one. Okay, well, I don't see. Okay, well, let me scale it back. We'll switch the weeks. No big deal. Yeah, because that one had honey in it. I want that next week. Okay, whatever. This is what we'll do. You got 10 ounces of water, so that's just a little bit more than a bottle of water. This only makes one serving. I want you to drink one of these once per day, okay? We're going for 7 days. We're going for 7 days. You have your 10-ounce water, your 1 tablespoon of honey, your 2 tablespoons of the lemon juice, and the 1/4 of a teaspoon for the turmeric, okay? That's your turmeric, lemon juice, honey, water. That is what I want to do for the next 7 days, okay? This is on your nutrition portal, period. It is there. You'll drink one of those every single day. So starting tomorrow, if you start in today, great. Drink it around the same time every day. So if that's going to be your morning thing, cool beans. Be very consistent with it being your morning detox for the week, okay? Now, next week, we'll do the exact same thing. We'll just start it on, if you start on Sunday, great. If you start on Monday, cool beans. But we're going to switch this up every single week. There will be a new one to focus on every week, okay? Taz, I see you raise your hand. What's up, love?
Okay, so I'm on the portal. Can you go back to where it is again?
Where it says nutrition portal. So it should be right next to are you on your phone or computer?
I'm on both. I'm looking at you from my phone. Let me lower my hand, but I have my laptop right here.
Okay, then yeah, it's underneath it should be underneath the schedule. Hold on, I'll go back just to make sure we're on the same page. So when you click, because it's literally a button that says nutrition portal. It's
I'm
literally
on that.
okay. When you scroll down
Mm-hmm.
and you'll see detox recipes. There's 1 section, there's 2 sections, there's 3 sections. The 4th one, it's right next to where it says skinny detox water. The other one says visceral fat detox ingredients.
Okay. Okay.
That is the one that we're going to focus on this week. Okay. That is the one. Every single day, 1 time a day, I want you to finish that bottle. Now, I'm not saying you got to just sit there and chuck it or whatever. Not a problem. I do want you to be able to get that done. Now, what I want you to also do is make sure you have your make sure you also have your water prepared, because I do want you to consume enough water every single day. Okay, so even if you're not hitting that gallon, I want you almost at that. I want you over 3/4. Most of y'all are really hitting like almost a gallon every single day. So just keep up that hydration regimen. We're just simply adding in this water. That's it. That's the only thing that we're doing. Now, what you'll also be doing is making sure that you have your breakfast prepared, you'll have your lunch prepared, and you'll have your dinner prepared. For those of you, this is really everybody, but I know I pointed out Chandra and Taz specifically. Y'all know y'all need to have your pre and post workout meals planned out. You need to do some type of green smoothie type of situation, add in your protein and move on with your life. That's what I want you to do. So it's going to be a lot of hydration, lots and lots and lots of hydration for this month. Okay. I want bodies hydrated. Y'all should be able to look at your skin and be like, wow, I'm really glowing. That's how hydrated you should be. We're not aiming for hunger. Don't be out here like, oh yeah, I only ate 1 meal per day. That ain't a part of the program. That is not a part of the program. Okay. The only other thing that I also want you to focus on is getting your rest. Some of us are not getting a full night's rest. That ain't gonna work. Okay, that's not gonna work. You can't go through a full day, you on point with your meals, you working out, you drinking your water, but you're not getting enough rest. You might as well just go and just cancel Christmas, okay? That is just stress compiling in the body. You have to prioritize resting, okay? So your detox recipe, 1 time per day. I would prefer in the morning. Because after you have rested a full night's rest, you break your fast or that first meal of the day, you begin to drink your water. Now, if you're like, no, Reagan, I have to have my breakfast, I'm that person, then whatever time that you do decide, if you have it right after breakfast, cool. Just be consistent. Just be consistent around that same time, within that same hour, every single day for the next 7 days. Questions.
Can you repeat that again? Like, how do you want us to do it? We're doing the visceral fat one, right?
Yeah, you're doing the visceral fat one. And if anyone doesn't know exactly what visceral fat is that jelly-like fat that is usually compiled in the body. It usually surrounds like major organs and stuff. That is like the deepest, the hardest fat to burn because it's so deep and it's so padded within the body. That is the fat that we're going to try to like attack first. All the while cleansing our blood, cleansing our system, we're attacking that fat with this one. The agents that the turmeric has and the honey has as well compiled together help you burn that type of fat. Now, it doesn't mean you just drink this, all your problems gonna go away. That's also compiled with eating the way that you need to, getting the rest that you need to get, and then also working out the way that you normally work out, okay? So we're not pulling anything out. What I want you to do, I'm gonna repeat that, Chandra. So in the mornings, I would prefer for you to drink it in the morning. If that does not work for you in the mornings, I want you to pick a time and be consistent. So if your time is at 11 o'clock every single day, I want you to do that at 11 o'clock a.m. every single day. All right. So full night's rest first. Second, I want you to break your fast with your with your water, with your detox water that we're talking about for this week. From there, make sure you still have your breakfast. We're not foregoing breakfast. Make sure you still have your lunch. We're not foregoing lunch. Dinner, same thing. Still eat your dinner. Make sure for dinner, you are eating 2 hours before you lay down, okay? At least 2 hours. So a lot of us should really be cutting it off by 8 o'clock, not eating dinner past 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock p.m. You get your full night's rest and you repeat, you rinse and repeat. Okay.
Hey, Ms. Reagan, after, I know you said don't eat 2 hours before you go to bed. What if you have a snack, like if I have some popcorn?
We're not snacking this month. We're not even eating popcorn this month, Miss Terry. I'm so sorry to tell you that and break that news, but you have to let that go.
Oh my God. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's my like go-to snack.
I know, but Miss Terry, we got to let that go.
Okay. I gotta figure out another snack.
No, Miss Terry, we're just not eating after 8 o'clock. Miss Terry, no, there's no other snack.
No, I mean like during the day. I can't. You said so no popcorn. So I can't have popcorn during the day either.
Nope, you're not eating any popcorn at all, Miss Terry. We're gonna detox from the popcorn. You can have it in June. but
Okay.
you can't have it in May. I need you to snack on some celery sticks or something, okay?
Can I snack on nuts?
You can. Nuts are great.
Okay.
Nuts are awesome. Nuts are awesome, awesome, awesome. Log them so
Yeah.
that you know what your fat content is, okay? Make sure you
Okay.
log those nuts in there. Even log them before you eat it so you'll say, okay, dang, I can't have this whole baggie full that I put together. I might can only do 2 or 3 tablespoons and I might need to add something else in there. So just make sure you log it so you'll know what else you're putting into your body. Because there's no need for us to detox over here and we're doing all this great stuff, but then we sprinkle a little popcorn in there. It ain't gonna work, you know?
Yes, I'm now like I'm just now spinning like, oh my gosh, I gotta really come up with a new snack.
Yeah, or you can eat a smaller meal for your snack. You can always snack on your fruits, Miss Terry. But not eating after 8 o'clock, ladies. We're gonna let that go. Okay, we're gonna let that go. We're not staying up late. Sorry, I hate to be the party pooper, but we're not doing that. Not this month. Next month, great. Just not this month. Okay, Miss Terry, we'll work together on some different snacks. You can always refer to your calendar to help you out with some different snack ideas. The portal will help you out with snack ideas too. But yeah, I hate to burst your bubble. You make me feel like the bad girl whenever I do that, Miss Terry. I'm not the bad person here, Miss T. You know I love you. I see you laughing. So any other questions? Any other questions? And I'm glad you brought that up. We're definitely cutting off that time at 8 o'clock or 2 hours before you go to bed. Cut it off. Sometimes we talk about just for like lifestyle eating and stuff that, if you happen to get hungry late at night, whatever, then these are some things that you can eat this month. I'm stressing that this month, we're cutting out the late night snacking. It doesn't even matter if it's vegetables, fruit, popcorn, a little chocolate morsel, or we're cutting it out for this month. We're refraining from it as much as possible, let me say. We're trying to refrain from it because that's just it's gonna compete with the whole point of you detoxing anyway. And you don't want to do the work in the daytime just to let it all go to heck in the evening. It just doesn't make sense. And then you're going to be prolonging the results that you're supposed to be feeling. Any other questions? Miss T, I got yours. Shamika, I got yours. Taz, I got yours. Okay. Perfect. I'm just looking in the chat. Any other questions? If you need help go ahead.
I'm sorry, one more question. What should I expect from this detox? Like, because I'm getting ready to go to work in the morning and I don't want to have to use that bathroom.
Great question.
Now, I will say, I started a probiotic last week and it did hit me at work and I was mad about it.
I know. And you know what? When that happens, y'all, let me just go ahead and let you know when that happens. If you're not already consistent, if you're not already having 1 BM or a bowel movement per day, you need to hit me up on the personal line. You should be having 1 per day anyway. Now, this thing should not send you running to the toilet and giving you the runs and stuff like that. If that's happening, then we need to talk offline for sure, because this is not what's supposed to happen. All of the recipes that, in fact, I'm going to give you, they will not have you, they're not supposed to, they're not going to have you run into the bathroom, having the runs and stuff like that. So don't feel that way. Again, that's one of the common misconceptions about the process of detoxing the body. It's like, okay, taking it back to the vitamin lady, when she gave you this stuff, and did you ever have the runs afterwards or anything like that? Did you have crazy BMs and stuff? Well, just think about it. You don't have to answer, you don't have to put your business out there, but just think about those different things or whatever. You really just want to have the adequate amount of vitamins in your body. You want your systems to work efficiently for you and with you. If the point of your detoxing will be to do a number of things. It just depends on the person. It also depends on what else that you're feeling. Number 1, you should not be going crazy to the bathroom no more than what you already do. If you're someone drinking a lot of water and stuff, it's not going to be any different. Okay. So if you're drinking a lot of water, you already know, dang, I gotta go to the bathroom. I don't want to go to that bathroom. Oh my God, because I gotta pee again. Same thing, okay? Same thing. That will not change. Two, making sure that cognitive clarity, I already talked about that. If you're someone who has a high stress job, or you're always on the computer, or you're always just kind of like tuning in, zooming in, all that other great stuff, expect to have some type of cognitive clarity throughout the month, okay? If you're someone who struggles with sleep, resting at night, whatever, that is why I want you to cut that eating off at 8:00 p.m. Don't eat anything past that. Make sure you break your fast so that you can go ahead and set some type of regulation into your body. Our body needs to be told, hey, this is what I want you to do. I need you to rest now. And sometimes we coach our body into the very things that work against us, if that makes any sense. So let's work on getting more rest and expect that. Bloating, I'm gonna say bloating and I'm gonna say inflammation, kind of one and the same, but not really. But bloating, if you're someone, everybody got a little extra around the abdominal area that we're trying to get rid of. Get it. You know the difference between I have work to do and Lord, I shouldn't eat that, okay? There's two different blows. I know I shouldn't have eaten that, or I just got a little bit more work to do. I want your body in that midsection specifically, you should not feel heavy. You should not feel like, oh my God, it's just compiled on me. I just don't feel right. So, just feeling like you're backed up, stopped up, whatever bloating feels like for you, you should not feel that throughout these weeks at all. You should not. Inflammation, that is just a form of inflammation in the body. Inflammation wise, if you've been having issues with the back, with the knees, joints, ligaments, tendons, what have you, you've been having any type of inconsistency, what I am looking for whenever, I want you to start paying attention to that. Is that bothering me? Am I still in pain? Is it because, I just woke up and it's hurting me, or did I overwork it in my workout? Those should be two completely different feelings. So the way that may look yesterday while we were working out and stuff like that, if you know that you've been eating the way that you're supposed to be eating, and this normally hurts you, say it's your knee normally hurts you all of the time. And then in this particular case, it's like, okay, I'm doing my form, my technique is right. Reagan already said I'm good to go. Okay, I feel it a little bit, but I don't feel it as bad as I normally do. I'm looking for relief. You should be able to feel some type of relief this month. Okay. Now, if you know that you just did one class, you came in here and did my class, you might not have been eating as consistent as possible, or whatever, or maybe you have, but you're just working. You just went crazy because you've been feeling that great and you start to feel it, that might be because you overworked it. So those are two different feelings. I want you to start paying attention to really like, okay, how am I feeling? Your skin, that's another thing. Chandra mentioned the thing about her skin. The doctor was like, yeah, I can tell that you eat X, Y, and Z. Okay, fine. But you should also feel in your skin, like the texture, the elasticity, all of that within your skin. Do you feel hydrated? Is your skin drying out? We are also going through a season change right now. So you definitely want to be on your water. I've been saying that, I think, for like the past 2 months, be on your water, because it's a whole new season change. But it's the same thing here. You can tell in your skin whenever your skin is just depleted. And also just look at like the brightness of how you look. If you're looking washed out and whatnot, and you're just not looking like, okay, I look like I need some rest, you might not be providing your body with those nutrients that it needs, hence, or it just might be back there with toxins. That's why we'll be detoxing. And along with a whole bunch of other things as well, how well your body recovers from workouts too. If you've been plateauing in your weight as well, you're like, I just can't shift it. I don't know what's going on. It might just be a compiled amount of things that just have been in your body, and it's looking for something just to kind of push it through and push it away and just kind of rid of it. And that will be you foregoing these things that you should not be consuming on a consistent basis. And on top of that, intentionally detoxing the blood. Your blood is your driveway. That is your highway, not your driveway, your highway to communicating everything to your body, to your brain, to your liver, your entire system. If your blood is not clean, I don't know what else you can expect for your body to perform. you have to cleanse it. You absolutely have to cleanse it. Any type of honey, Chandra, you put, I would go as organic and as natural as possible. You can get the smaller ones, because if you're not normally a honey person, then buying the big one probably is not for you. Just get one of the small ones if you can find it. If not, just use your regular honey. Local honey was always great. Local honey is literally always the best. But if you can't find it and got that kind of time, you're like, well, Reagan, I'm just gonna use what I got in this closet. Fine, not a problem. Fine by me. Any other questions? Jesus. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this recording up. We have a lot of work to do, but don't feel bad, guys. We're gonna do it one step at a time. Y'all know how I like to do. Thank y'all for joining Reset Sunday.